Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to be cooking shish kebab. Now this recipe requires lamb, but I could not find it around my local neighborhood. Figuring out vocabularies as we go. And so instead we're going to be using 2 pounds of ground beef. Now this ground beef doesn't have enough fat in it, so it's not ideal to be utilized for shish kebab. You want more fat. You want close to 20% fat to make this recipe work quite well. But for our viewers at home, we're going to be using an oven. So for that, having less fat, it's not going to really hurt it as much. So it's not that bad. We're going to be using a pan. You can use whatever you prefer. If you want to go round, you can keep it round. You can keep it square if you guys prefer. But you want something a little more deep so you can hold the fat in it instead of this thin one. This thin one will work quite well if you know how to manage it. Now for this recipe, it requires a lot of onions. So I have my 2 onions right here. Let's chop them up and get cooking. But you have to make sure you remove the water right after it. But you do not want to remove the whole entire water contents from the onions itself. You want to feel it as moist within your hand so you can be able to bind to the meat itself so you can make it work. Now this onion seems like it doesn't have enough liquid within it, so we should be okay. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, my parents never really cooked kebab at home, so this will be a first in our family of me cooking kebab for the first time ever. FYI, I'm going to be using a food processor to make it really quickly and really fast. Man, I need to sharpen my knife already. This is a whole lot of onions. The food processor works wonder. That was less than 5 seconds and it's already done. I'm gonna mix this up a little. I'm gonna add half a red onion to make the flavor pops a little bit more. All right, we got our onions chopped. We have our cherry tower ready. Let's bring a bowl to collect all the water. Squeeze the hell out of it. Remove all the liquid. This is very difficult, but just bear with it and continue squeezing it to get all the liquid out. Remember, you do not want to make this thing super dry. You just want it to be dry enough to prevent the meat from breaking apart, because water and meat doesn't mix quite well. But a little amount of liquid in it should be fine. So dry our hand. My right hand is still dry. We're just gonna test it out. There's a little liquid still left in it, so that's more than ideal. I can feel the water, but my hand is dry. As soon as I'm done touching it, it gets dry right away. So it should be ready. Now let's mix that meat. We need a big bowl for this. I'm gonna use my stand mixer to make this process a lot faster and easier. All right, let's get our beef in. For that, we need to release it from this seal bag. Now my recipe call out for 2 pounds of meat, so I'm using ground beef. If you don't have ground beef, use lamb legs per se, so similar to tomahawk. So it's gonna be awesome with a lot of fat. Unfortunately, I don't have it, so yeah, beef will work. All right, let's get mixing. Now I never mixed this before, so I'm learning as I go. So if you don't know how to do this as well, you're learning it with me. Now my recipe is gonna call out for 1/4 cup of olive oil, 3 to 4 garlic clove. I don't have that, so we're gonna use powder instead. 1 large onions. We use 1 large and a half onion. Juice of lemon, around 3 to 4 tablespoons. I have this. 2 tablespoons plain yogurt. That's gonna be optional, just to tenderize the meat, but we're gonna be skipping it, so there's no reason for that. So you can skip that as well, because once I mix it, we're gonna put it in the pan, we're gonna cook it, and it's gonna be ready. There's no time for it to be tenderized. I think it's gonna make it break apart while we're cooking it, so we're just gonna skip that part instead. 2 tablespoons of ground cumin, 2 tablespoons of paprika, 1 tablespoon of ground coriander, 1 tablespoon of dry oregano or thyme. Coriander and thyme and oregano, I don't have them, so we're gonna be skipping them. Half a tablespoon of red chili flakes, which something I have. We're gonna be adding them because I want this thing to be spicy. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Some paprika, black pepper. We're gonna add salt to stabilize the taste, and 1/4 cup of olive oil. Now this is supposed to be to marinate, but we're not gonna be marinated. We're just gonna prepare it and get it ready. We're gonna start cooking it right away. Chili flakes. When it comes to seasoning of the meat, have at it however you like. Unfortunately, from country to country, it's different. This is the one I'm going to be using because that's the only ingredients I have. I wish I have lamb. Now, about the steward and the chef knife. It is part of the recipe, but I don't have it. I have chopsticks instead, but we're not going to be using chopsticks as well. Instead, we're going to show you guys a variety of ways of doing this, so you can get the idea. Do what fits your need best for the certain occasions and the time strain that you have. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys 2 different kinds. One of them, the one I'm going to be doing, you can turn it to a meatball, or you can turn it to a mini skewer, and you can just round it like that, and then it becomes really, really small. So I'm going to show you one, and I'm going to show you the other one that look like a kafta instead, without the steward at all. So let's clean this up, and then show you guys how to do this. We're going to show you guys both method. I prefer the first method instead, which is like grated meatballs instead. So you grab the meat, you turn it to a circle, and it looks like that, and then you squeeze it a little, or you rotate it a little, and you create a mini skewer. This is going to be very flavorful and very friendly for children as well. So let's just do a couple of those. We're going to rotate it, create a circle to bind everything, close our palm, and set it down, and voila. So while we're cooking it in the oven, we're going to rotate it twice to get this nice shard on one side, and then get the shard from on the other side as well. We're going to be using the broiler only. Alright, we got our first way of doing it. Now I'll show you guys the second one. Now before I start to show you guys, I want to show you guys one more ingredients you can actually add to this for all my seasonal veterans, high protein eaters. You can include powdered peanut butter. Now this, for every scoop, I'm gonna get 70 grams of protein. So let's add one more skewer to that 6 that we have over here. One scoop. Ooh, yeah. Smells good. Now you want to continue incorporating it until you don't see the powder anymore. Now this thing becomes a little different color relevant to the other ones. The shade of red is a little more different, but it's still the same. It's included in here. We're gonna add one more. We have 2 skewered with high protein, and now we put the rest of it in here. Now to make this thing work, all you have to do is make it flat. Once the whole thing is flat, you go over it and you create a line of separation. Me personally, I don't like to do this because it doesn't come out quite well. I like this instead. This is way better, and you can take a good guess how much protein in each one of them already. But it's still delicious. I still eat this regardless, because when you take one section of it, it will break apart right here, and then when you take another one, it's going to break right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. It's going to continue breaking. It's not going to hold the shape together by you holding it like that. So creating this is way better for portion control and also for children as well. Alright, our boiler is on. Now we're going to cook both of them for 8 to 12 minutes, and make sure you rotate it halfway. As for this, since it's flat, we're not going to be rotating. We're just going to leave it the way it is, and we're just going to cook it for 8 to 12 minutes, and we're just going to bring it out the boiler. Kind of suck. And this is way better. We can rotate it and enjoy it a little more better, easier. One. Two. While we wait, we'll make the side dish to go along with our kebab. Now for this side dish, you have variety. We can create a salad, a vegetation dish. We can use bread or pita bread. I'm gonna create you guys salad mixed together at the same time with the garlic. I wouldn't necessarily say garlic sauce, more like yogurt sauce, with the yogurt sauce. Something to dip and something to garnish the dish as well. Let's start with our tomatoes. Bell pepper. We do not want any of the seed in the bell pepper. It's kind of a waste, but trust me and trust the rest of the chefs. You don't really need this at all. Zucchini. Cucumber. Now, professional chef, remove the seeds, but for me, I'm gonna leave it in. I'm gonna add it to the salad. The salad is done. You just need to add the lime. Don't be shy. Some salt. Alright, we need chive, parsley, cilantro, and mints to make our garlic sauce. We're gonna mix them all together. We're gonna chop away. First dish is done. Second dish is done. Now let's show you guys a well-prepared dish for people to eat. Oh, and for the people who's wondering which is better, this is the method. I'm picking up one and it's still connected to the one right next to it. You're still gonna get that awesome taste flavor, but this is way better. You can also make it to a meatball and cook spaghetti out of it. Possibly are endless. It just tastes that good. All right. Let's create a well-presentable dish. Well, there you have it, folks. A well-deserved meal for well-deserved people. And I know you guys love kebab, regardless if you're Middle Eastern or not. Same ingredients apply. You can have a preference in choosing your protein type. I want to advise fish, but you can do it with fish. You can do fish, chicken, beef, lamb, goat, or any other protein choices. For this instance, this is beef and it's well cooked. And like I said, it's better off if you turn it to a ball and then, I don't know what you call this, but it's like you making a fire to turn it to the shape that I have it as at the moment, which is this piece right here. And you can skip the skewer. You don't have to have 12 swords to make it work for you quite well. You get to enjoy a good meal. Now, if you're like me, trying to watch your weight so you can look good in front of the camera and flex at the same time, I'll skip the bread. This thing is juicy. Make sure you only cook it for 12 minutes, and I mean it. We're gonna burn the hell out of it. And use the second layer from the top to cook it for 12 minutes. If you want it extra charred, then you go to the first one. I don't want it to be extra charred. I want it to be cooked and slightly charred. And exactly what I got. Still smoking. Let me know in the comment below exactly how you cook your kebab. What's the source of protein? I'm gonna go and enjoy this. I can't continue eating juicy stuff and talking to you guys. It doesn't really work quite well. See you guys on the next one. Give me, boy. Oh, Mom, Dad, I cooked kebab for the first time. How come you didn't cook any? I'm gonna get in trouble for that. Peace.